got wet footwells where if you touch the bottoms it's soaking wet, so we're going to fix that. The leak is coming from behind here where the seal's dried out and cracked. So to get to that, we're going to take all of this trim and everything away. We're going to start off by removing the window wipers. So start off by just getting this cap and pushing it over like that, and then once you've tilted it up, you can just put it away. Do the same with the other one, so just tilt it up like that, then put it away. Then get a 13mm socket or spanner, and then just undo it all the way. Same with the other one. Now we're going to shut the bonnet for a second. Now lift the wiper up, and then from here push in and up. And then that will come off. Don't lose the washer. Do the same with this one. That's it, that one comes out too. So next we're going to remove this top trim. So over here there's a screw in there, there's a T25 Torx. Just make sure you don't drop the screw. Let's take that out. And do the same on the other side. Make sure you don't drop it. So we're just going to put up some of this trim. So lift this up. And this pulls out. And then we're going to undo this T25 as well. So next we're going to remove the battery, so just pull that little cap off and unscrew the bolts. Start off with the negative one first, and they're 10mm. Tuck that away, same with the positive. Away slightly. Now we can pull these wires out a little bit, and then we can get this, put it towards us, and then slide it out. Now we've still got the washer jets, so turn it over to a point where you can see the back. So the washer jets are still connected, so just pop that bit out, and then down here is where it connects into the washer motor. So just push it to the right, just wiggle it a little bit, and then you've unclipped the pipe for it. So you've got the washer jets, so put your one hand behind the back to push it towards you, and then there's a little clip here that push downwards. So I'm just going to put the cap back on. And now we're going to come over here and undo the 13mm socket holding the battery in place. That's it, so then you can pull that out. Now push the battery cables out of the way. And then we can lift this up and out. So next we're going to remove the cabin filter housing. That's 4 T25 bolts again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. That's 2. Go for number 3. That's 3 removed. Now the last one. And that's all 4 removed. So just pull it out. Just like that. So we're going to remove the window wiper motor. To start off with, just undoing this plug. So just lift this tab up slightly just to clear that little cap, and then just wiggle it out, and that comes out like that. Now we've got 2 8mm bolts, one here and one here. So remove that and it will drop down, and we've got one more to do. And then just push it to the left hand side. Then just pull it out. And make sure that you've got the grommet. We're going to remove the rest of this rubber. Just push it out of the way. So we're going to remove the washer bottle now. So over here there's a plug. Just squeeze these 2 ends together and pull up. So just push these 2 metal ends together, just like that, and then push it up to remove that. Then you've got the actual washer motor here. So just push it in that direction and then up. So like that, and then up, and then just slide the whole bottle up, out of the way now. Hopefully you haven't got much fluid in here, so that way you don't lose too much. So we're going to undo the master cylinder now, but before we do that, we're just going to follow these green pipes, and then see here where it attaches to the bulkhead. Just pull it away, so that way once we undo it, there's a little bit of movement that it's going to have. And just the same there, or wherever it's attached, just to give it a little bit of movement. So we're going to undo this now, and then hopefully we've got enough room to get it out. So just get a 13mm socket, and then just slowly start to undo that side. There we go. And now before we take it off all the way, we're just going to try and break the other side free as well. So the other bolt is this one here. We might not be able to get a spanner. Yeah. So for this side, you're going to need a 13mm spanner, and the socket doesn't fit. And then just break that free. That's it. Make sure you don't lose it. And then take that one out. Now undo the one on the other side. Unscrew that the rest of the way. And take that out. So now we're just going to pull it out in the direction that it is fitted. So we're just going to pull few things out of the way. So we're just going to pull this out to unplug this. So just get the 2 ends, pull it out, and then that should separate. So that can move slightly out of the way for the batteries. Then we're going to lift this up a bit as well. Just pull it all out. Let's give it a small amount of room. The clutch cable's still quite tight, but what we're going to do is going to try and see if we can remove the servo without removing anything, otherwise we're going to have to bleed the brakes and clutch. So get this pipe that goes into the servo for the vacuum, and it just pulls out. There's a little rubber here, so we can just pull it slightly. Just going to get a screwdriver. Don't put too much pressure so it doesn't break. Just that's it, that pulls out. It's just pushed in by pressure. Next we're going to try and undo the servo, so to do that we're going to have to go inside the car. So we need to unhook this clip. If you can see, there we go. So this clip, so this just needs to get unhooked by pushing it. So under it and just pull it out towards you, and then that will unclip. Next we're going to try and unhook this clip for the pedal. So just push it back and then to the side. It can come out. This pin. That pin just slides out. It's just got a little connector that connects into this. To undo it, it was hard to show, so I'm just doing it again here in case you didn't film it. Just lift it up, and then once it's lifted up, then you can just push it out, just like that. Okay, so with a swivel extension and a 13mm, then we're going to go for 2 bolts to undo it. So one of them is this one. It's just above the accelerator pedal. So just try and get that on. Once you've got that on, then start loosening it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the 3 bolts of the accelerator pedal just to make it easier so there's more space. So just undo these 3 bolts. That's 1. That's 2. And 3 is just here. That's it, and now this will just come out. It's got a wire cable tied to it, but it's alright, it gives us enough space. So now we've just got the top bolt to do. So just try and loosen it all of the way. Once you've done that, then you're done from the inside, then we're going to go back outside. Push this through a little bit just to keep it out of the way. So now we're just going to pull the servo out. So then that comes out. So when I was trying to take the servo off, the clutch pipe just popped off. So it looks like we're going to have to bleed the clutch and probably the brakes. So my fingers there just stopping the fluid from coming out. So we just put a little bung in here just to stop the fluid from leaking out. So it should be slightly less work when we need to bleed everything afterwards. So you can see here where it's full of cracks. So that's where it's leaking in from. So we're going to try and clean it up and remove as much of this sealant as possible, and then we're going to put some new stuff. Also we're going to try and clean up all the dirt and stuff, because there's the little flaps here where it all should come out from, and sometimes they get blocked up. I mean, all of the gunk and everything around here. So we're going to try and start removing this old seal. So just get a pick and just start going in at the gaps and removing as much as possible, because we're going to put new stuff in there. a lot of that is mud, and it's making me think that's the side where it's actually leaking from. See, now here in theory, this still seems a lot better. If you saw that corner bit, the way that came off, that seemed a lot more like it was damaged than this top bit. Now the way this is coming off makes me think that this part is actually okay. So I'm going to leave this top little bit, it's really sticky and that bit seems all intact. I'm going to go and do the rest of this. So this is what I'm going to use. Now I'm going to start going around as much as I can, then I'm going to go over it with my finger just to sort of get in all the little grooves. I'm just going to go with my finger and just start to try and get it in all the groove nicely. If you need to add some more, that's fine, just add some more. If you've got too much, then you can just wipe some away. Looks to me like I've got everywhere. I'm just going to double check it to make sure. If there's any bits that I need to add to, I'll add. If not, then I'm done for now. To let this dry for a little bit. Right, so now we're going to get the servo over again, and we're going to put it in. So just line up the hole, and then afterwards just got to line up the two screws. That's it. So once that's in position, now we're going to go inside the car and do up the two bolts. Get the bottom bolt and just start screwing that in. Now the other one is a lot more tricky to see. So once you've got the brake pedal to line up with the servo, then put the screw back in, the pin. You've got the pin in, then get this clip, just push it back and over. We're going to get this retainer and then we're going to slide it over, and that's it. Now that's in place. So now we're just going to put the pedal back, which is these 3 bolts. So just get the pedal, line it up with the 3 bolts and push it in. Now get your 3 nuts and then just start screwing them back in. and then plug it back in. So make sure that this is out like that. Then we're going to put it back over the connector, push it down, and then press this at the same time, and then that's connected. So now we've got to go back to the outside of the car. So just going to clip that back in, and we're going to push the vacuum pipe in for the servo. So just push it in, just like that. So next we're going to get the master cylinder, and we're going to just bring that back towards the servo. That's it. And now we're going to get the 2 screws. And then do the same with the other side. Just going to move this rubber up just to sort of line it back up with where it should be. So just clip that back down, and then also we're just going to push these pipes back in place for the brakes. We'll just put the battery cable back, and we're going to connect this wire cable again. So just push it on, and then as we're going to connect it, just press the red bit down, and now that's connected again. So we're going to take the rubber bung out, and we're going to reconnect the clutch pipe. So we're just going to put a tissue underneath because it's probably going to leak out a little bit. Just try and be as quick as you can. So we're going to put the screen wash reservoir back, so we're going to do that by just sliding this down onto that. And just get this, and remember to push it down and in. That's it, and then put the connector back. That's that done. Now we're going to get the wiper motor, and we're going to put that back in. So remember that there's this rubber piece that slides in. So just go from the top and push it in. That's it. And now line up these holes, and there's only 2 bolts. I'm just going to screw those in. And we're just going to line up the other one too. Screw them in. Doesn't need to be too tight. So next get your cabin filter housing, and we're just going to line up the 4 bolts. So now we're going to put the battery back in, so lift the wires out of the wall, slide it all the way to the end, just goes down into place. It just screws in. Sure that it's secure. Once you're happy that it's secure, then you can put the cable back and it up. And then you can put that back. Then you can connect the negative. Now that's in place. So we're just going to plug the connector for the wiper motor in. It's connected. So we're going to get this and then we're going to plug it back in to the wiper, the washer motor. That's it, and now that's connected, so just need to line it all back up so it goes from underneath and then sort of pushes up, but just make sure it's all in place first. So it goes under and slides up like that. That's it, and the batteries wire can go just in here. So now we've got a few screws to put in. So we've got one here. Doesn't need to go too tight. Again, doesn't need to go in too tight. And then we've got this little cap thing to go in. So just push it in and then it will sit down. Now we've got this to put in, so just try and follow the way that it is roughly, that way you get the right amount on each side. Okay, now we're going to shut the bonnet and we're going to put the wipers. So just get the wipers and then just try and line them up as best as possible to the same location that they were in before. Once you're happy with that, get the washer, put that on, then get the nut, and screw it down. Doesn't need to be too tight, and just make sure you're happy with the position that it's in. Then get the little cap, get the top and push it in like that, and then once it's in, then just push that down, and that's all done. Now get the next one and do the same. Get the washer, put it in place, and get the nut, do it up. Then once you're happy with it, get the little clip, the cover, put it in, and then press down. Now that would be it if you manage to do it without disconnecting any of the like the brake cable, the brake pipes, or for the one for the clutch. Because I disconnected mine, I'm going to now bleed the clutch and the brakes. But apart from that, you're done.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want more.